So Godfred is lawyer for Vincent Asefua. So they first brought an application. In Relief 1, they say that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, was not notified prior to the President sending or consulting the Council of State. That's the claim. Now, the claim of not being notified requires personal knowledge. Yeah. So once that issue came up, some of us said, on what basis did Vincent Asefua get this privileged information that the President has not consulted Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice? So then it created an impression of some communication between the plaintiff and Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice. Not long, there was a letter now from the Chief Justice herself asking the President to furnish her a copy of the letter so she can, as it were, put in a response. So already right from the beginning, the impression has already been created by way of conduct that there's some kind of communication between lawyers for Vincent Asefua himself, and now suspended Chief Justice. Now, that matter goes in and it fails. Only for Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, now suspended, to formally come before the courts. Now gets represented by the same lawyer for Vincent Asefua. And like you pointed out, it's about the optics. Me, where I sit here, I will not say that food should be taken from the mouth of a colleague lawyer. No, this is what we do for living. And so now that he's back into private practice, he needs to make a living. I will not say who should be his client or who should not. But you see, we are working out the optics. Look, the head of the judiciary, right, gets represented by the immediate Attorney General. At the time when there have been serious questions about, the public, the verdict is out there in the public. That no, you have not acted between the two political parties. You have taken side. And for that matter, like Caesar's wife, you must live above reproach. You understand? Caesar's wife must not be somebody whose name is associated with anything below the, like people can gossip about or run rumor about Caesar's wife. No. So when the story came that Cleopatra had something to do with Mark Antony, it was as good as you are God. As the wife of Caesar. That is how, when you get elevated to a certain position, you cannot do what Edudzi can do. Me, I don't want to be a judge. So I am in my corner. You understand? Now, those who say they want to be a judge, there's a certain elevated conversation about them. So once you become Caesar's wife, there is a certain benchmark around you based on your conduct. I would have wished, and this is possibly wishful thinking. There are many, many senior lawyers in this country, right? Many, many senior lawyers. Now, if you have a situation where serious allegations of this nature, the minority in parliament have entered, the NPP itself had actually had a demonstration relative to this. Then not only that, you have a situation where the immediate Attorney General is your lawyer. Have you found out who is represented here before the committee?